Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to this channel, then I'd invite you to go back and watch the introductory video just so you know what this channel is all about. But if you already watched that, then let's get started. So as you can see from the title of this video, today we are going to be discussing what is soul plan. And I want to kind of keep this quite short and sweet because soul plan has quite a rich, complex history. So soul plan has its roots in Hebrew gematria, which is found in the ancient text, the Sefer Yetzirah, which is associated with Hebrew numerology. And essentially the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet are used in soul plan, and there are 22 energies in soul plan, and each of the 22 energies has a numerical value but also has a symbol. Now the symbols for each of the 22 energies were channeled by Dr. Frank Alper in the latter half of the last century, so we're talking 1970s, 1980s, and Frank Alper channeled these symbols from Atlantis. So if you're interested in Lemuria or Atlantis or Avalon or any of those other mystical times, then this is definitely going to be a system for you. And if you're not remotely interested in them, then don't worry, you don't need to be in order to understand soul plan. Soul plan was then expanded by Blue Marsden, who is a Hay House author and the founder of the Holistic Healing College in London. Blue expanded on Frank's basic interpretations of each of the symbols or energies, and also added soul affirmations for each of the energies, and connections to the back flower remedies, and coaching and counselling tips for each of the energies to help people overcome their challenges. If you're interested in finding out more about Blue or Frank, I will add both of their websites into the description box below. In 2003, Blue went on to add soul plan as part of the syllabus for his Holistic Healing College, where students such as myself have been lucky enough to train with Blue in soul plan. So each of these energies has a numerical value, and as I say, there are 22. So the first 9 are double energies, so 1 1, 2 2, 3 3, all the way up to 9 9. And then from 10 to 22, they become combination energies. So 10 1, 11 2, 12 3, all the way up to 22 4. And there are 7 polarities in soul plan because we are in a world of duality. So things such as wealth to poverty, wisdom to folly. And I will talk later on about each of these polarities and share those with you. Since your life purpose is hidden within your name, the first time it was written is the first time that you've become manifest for your purpose. And so whenever we look at a client's chart, we always start with the birth name. Now many clients will say to me, but I don't use my birth name, or I never use my middle name, or in some cultures the surname is written first. That's absolutely fine. We would always take your birth name because that's the first time it was kind of manifest as your purpose. With regards to any name changes, perhaps you don't use your middle name, or you've got married, or you've changed your name by depol, or as I say, in your culture your surname is written first just on the birth certificate, then we would look at that as an overlay, and that is something I will discuss in a future video, so do pop back if you'd like to watch that, or subscribe if you'd like to find out more about when that video comes up. So for now, if we take soul plan, when Frank Alper was working with his spiritual numerology of Moses system, he focused on a method of gematria which brought forward the star of creation, and this is what we use as the basis of our chart in soul plan. It's a 6-pointed star, and it's essentially made up of 2 triangles. So the downward triangle is the worldly aspects, and that's connected to the feminine, so that's water, earth, Shakti, whereas the upward triangle is the spiritual aspects, and that's connected to the masculine, so Shiva, fire, action. And it's essentially about blending that feminine and that masculine together. So when we look at someone's chart, we look at all 6 points and the central aspect, and the 6 points are the worldly challenge, worldly talents, worldly goals, and the spiritual challenge, spiritual talents, and spiritual goals. And then, as I say, in the center is the soul destiny, the overall reason for somebody being here. So when we begin, we always look at the challenges first, and that's why it's important to know your birth name, because that will show your original challenges, and from a coaching perspective, that's really going to give insight to the coach or the therapist and help them get real results with their clients. So your challenges are essentially things you wish to learn and experience and overcome and turn into strengths. And you do this by working with your talents, and your talents show what you're naturally gifted in a worldly sense, but also what your soul is quite naturally talented at. And then we look at your goals. So your worldly goals are what you hope to achieve, and that's usually in more of a worldly sense. So that could be writing a book or making a movie or something like that. And then in the spiritual goals, that's more about what your soul wishes to achieve and learn and grow and expand and share in this lifetime. And sometimes that can be leaving something behind. Other times that could just be self-mastery. And then, as I say, the sum total of all of those points is the soul destiny, your overall purpose, who you truly are at your core essence. And that's really important because that will show up throughout all of your life. So we'd expect the worldly aspects of someone's chart to be present from birth. And then usually around the age of 35, most people will experience some kind of awakening or mass change in their life that will lead to them realizing there's more than what they thought to life, and perhaps searching. And sometimes that can be a spiritual awakening. Other times that could be something smaller. It totally will depend on the individual. However, I am noticing, and I am working with a lot of clients who are actually a lot younger than 35 and are having their spiritual awakening. And this means that the spiritual aspects, their upward triangle, is coming into play a lot sooner than we would normally expect. So that was the case for myself. I had my spiritual awakening at 22, and all of the other energies from my spiritual chart started coming into play, and my spiritual challenge was coming through. And so that's something I've been working through. And now, as I get closer to 30, I feel as though I'm starting to move more into my spiritual talents, but that's still yet to be seen. So when you see someone for a reading, they will guide you through each aspect of the star, each aspect of your chart, giving you pointers and tips to help you overcome your challenges. If it's a coach, they may actually see you for several sessions. It will totally depend on what your challenge is and what you wish to work through. And they will help you with your talents. So if you're somebody who thinks, I've always wanted to do something to help other people, but I don't really know what I have to offer, then Soul Plan is fantastic because it gives you such a simple format of what your talents are, both in the worldly sense and in that spiritual sense. And that's really the key to your chart in order to overcoming your challenges and turning them into strengths, and also achieving your goals. That's what your talents are able to help you with. So if you haven't had a reading and you're listening to this thinking, I would love to know more about what my purpose is, or who I am, or why I've had so many difficulties and what they actually mean and how I can turn them into a strength, then definitely having a Soul Plan reading is for you. And I will put a link below in order to connect with other practitioners. So if you're living in New Zealand and you're thinking, I'd love a reading, then click on the link and find your nearest practitioner. Alternatively, if you'd really like to have a reading with myself and you feel like you've connected with me through watching these videos, then I would be absolutely honoured to connect with you. So I'll also put my email address below and you can get in contact with me and find out more, and we can sort something out for you. So in the next couple of videos, I'm going to be discussing all of the 22 energies to give you more of an understanding of what they are and how they'll show up and how they present themselves in your life. And because there are 22, I am going to do 22 individual videos, because that way, if you don't have that energy in your chart, you don't have to watch the video. You can just skip to the next one. So in this instance, you may wish to subscribe just so that you always are kind of keeping on top of the videos, or alternatively pop back when you feel that there's something you'd like to learn more about. So thank you so much for watching today, and I hope that this has kind of sparked an interest and an excitement and an enthusiasm to learn more about Soul Plan, because I'm really excited to share more with you as we delve deeper into Soul Plan. Thank you so much for watching.